On today's episode of Anime Afterthought, My Hero Academia, episode 110, Sad Man's Parade. Yo, I'm gonna keep this a buck. I dug it. I fucking dug today's episode. Not only are they giving us some amazing moments when it comes to character development, they're adding some lore like, my god, the mother of Quirk? Who the hell saw that twist coming? And they're doing one hell of a job hyping up this climactic fight. I mean, the League of Villains versus the Meta Liberation Army, it was only a matter of time before the head honchos, the big baddies, clashed, right? But they're pulling a twofer. Not only are we getting this climactic fight, or at least I hope this climactic fight, but it looks like they're gonna unravel more of Tenko Shimura. And let's not forget we have the impending doom of Gigantamachi, who has been woken up prematurely from his slumber, no thanks to the good doctor. So let's begin this video talking about Twice. A name so nice, I said it twice. Ever since Jin's introduction, I've been split. I just realized that was a perfect choice of words, but it's the truth. I mean, his personality can sometimes be hilarious and other times very fucking annoying, but I absolutely loved the unique twist that his psychological trauma is so intertwined with his quirk, right? Creating an endless supply of doppelgangers because he himself is the only person he trusted. And in the end, it ended in the worst possible fucking way. That the people he trusts most, himself, literally betrayed him, massacred each other, and that's gotta stick with you. It's gotta fuck with your mind, right? So much so that in the back of his mind, he didn't know if he was even the original Twice. He even admits in today's episode that he had fear that if he would take too much damage, he would just disappear like all the other clones. So to see him in today's episode being able to overcome that trauma was brilliant, and he did it in such a stereotypical heroic fashion. I love that Compress brought that up, right? Like, what is this, a fucking anime? Is this the hero's journey? Like, seriously? Are you overcoming your trauma with the power of friendship? Yeah, I mean, that's what it came down to. Seeing Toga on the brink of death already, the one he is closest to, it's gotta fuck with your psyche. But then to see a gaggle of your own clones on the precipice of snapping her neck, not to mention his overall inability to perform. He admits that he felt he was letting the league down. It was finally the straw that broke the camel's back, and I understand why Skeptic, why Redestro, and why Giran recognized his power as an ability that could take over an entire fucking country. I mean, left to his own devices, his power can be overwhelming. And once again, this is a perfect example of why this arc needs to happen. I'm feeling conflicted emotions. On one point, I know that this dude has killed people. He is a bad motherfucker, but given his unjust past, the humanity he's displaying towards his comrades, I'm conflicted. I'm actually rooting for these fuckers now. Like, oh my god. If I'm having this much trouble now, I really wonder how I'm going to feel when it's the end game. It's the League of Villains versus Class 1A, because you know what's gonna fucking happen. You fucking know what's gonna happen, right? They're setting them up to be the penultimate battle. You just fucking know that. So yes, while I'll acknowledge that you are a fucking villain, props on you. Props on you for standing up for Toga and overcoming your own weaknesses. Now, before we get into my expectations for this final battle, let's talk about lore. Now, I love when a series adds to its backstory, adding complexity and depth, and it just makes the world feel real. But when it came to the term quirk, I never really second guessed it. Oh, it's just what the author is calling these abilities, but there's actually more to it, and it's kind of twisted. And it just goes to show you how much of a personal stake both Destro and Redestro have in the success of the Meta Liberation Army. The mother of quirks is the history taught about the common nomenclature quirk, now used to describe all meta abilities. Back in their early infancies, it seems these powers were seen as a pariah. But when a certain woman gave birth to a child with abilities, mother's gonna do what mother's gonna do. She preached for tolerance and acceptance, that her child can live freely in this world. Of course, those words fell on deaf ears. And unfortunately, in this chaotic times, it seems that this mindset eventually led to her being murdered. And it wasn't until years later that the government reevaluated this situation, used her words not only quail the masses, but also introduced regulation when it comes to abilities. So why does both Destro and Redestro have a personal stake in this arc? Well, this is Destro's mother, Reed Destro's grandmother. And they believe that the government co-opted her words, twist them to manipulate the masses, and stifle meta abilities more than they ever have been before. This is exactly what the MLA is fighting against. Now, I for one feel that her words can be interpreted in a couple of different ways. Maybe she was just asking for acceptance and tolerance. Maybe she was vying for this autonomy when it comes to power usage. I'd like to think that she just wanted her son to grow up in a world where, as a baby, because you have a certain ability, you wouldn't get stones thrown at you. Because what the Meta Liberation Army is fighting for sounds like Lord of the Flies, survival of the fittest, fucking anarchy. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, let's talk about what I'm expecting from this season-ending climactic fight, right? Basically, I want to see some badass animation. We're gonna have Tomura Shigaraki in his decay. We have some kind of ability from Reed Destro. Did they say what it was? Like, he's fucking hulking out right now. And then we have Gigantomachia just rushing towards the fucking scene. We know that the entirety of the city will be fucking decimated, right? I want to see that. I'd also want to see Tenko Shimura, the history about what really fucking happened. I mean, it's gonna be fucking gruesome. I mean, if those are the leftover hands from his, fucking family, you know that he killed his fucking family, but those flashes we're getting, oh god. I mean, I know you guys are saying that they're cutting a lot and altering a lot from this arc, and it is kind of sad that they're dimming a light on the villains' time to shine. It really was an opportunity to focus on them, to flesh out their characters, to give us something to bite on. So if you're going in with a whimper, I really want to go out with a bang. Just give me fucking something amazing, something awe-inspiring. Anyways, what did you guys think of today's episode? What do you think of Bajigawara and him overcoming his split personality / psychological trauma? Did you like Reed Destro's tryst into his family history? You guys got your fingers crossed for a badass climactic fight? I mean, I do. Fingers crossed and fingers crossed and anus clenched, right? Anyways, with all that being said and more My Hero Academia next week, I honestly cannot wait for future episodes.